Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Mac. Welcome back to Napoleonic Battles, Campaign Austerlitz. So this is in the range of me covering the Napoleonic Battles in chronological order from Wargame Design Studio. And this is going to be the third title that comes in sort of correct order if you want to follow the war that the titles that the Wargame Design Studio have released to play them as following Napoleon's career. Now, the last title we did was Marengo, and between Marengo and Austerlitz, there's actually quite the span in time where there's no game actually covering this yet released. And that is, a lot happened after Northern Italy campaign when Napoleon was victorious there, and there was a lot of stuff going on. So he sort of, I think he sort of titulated himself to be the king of Italy. That annoyed a lot of superpowers in Europe. And his war against Britain was ongoing. It was sort of Britain was ruling the seas. Napoleon was not. I mean, the French were not, and they were defeated in this time span as well. The big battle, Lord Nelson destroying the French fleet, and there was also Napoleon had that expedition to Egypt, the whole campaign trying to subdue that and fighting the Turks, and I mean there was a lot of stuff going on in between our last title and this, and and Napoleon even himself made himself emperor of France as well. So there's a shitload of history there. As I've said, I'm pretty rusty in that, and I'll just sort of recall in broad strokes what I know about it, but I'm nowhere near an expert. There's so much to take in, but so Campaign Austerlitz sort of picks up. It would be the war of the Third Coalition. So France is being threatened again, and the Third Coalition were some of the superpowers. There was, of course, Britain, and we have Austria, the Austrian Empire, and the Russians, and I think the Swedes, and some other nation there as well. They were sort of gathered together, calling themselves Third Coalition. And as we know, Napoleon always struck first. That's how he sort of, won his fights. He had really good initiative in taking the initiative and taking the fight to the enemy. So this is what Campaign Austerlitz is about. This title it's actually covering Napoleon's offensive into the Austrian, General Mack, taking him out, and the Russians are coming down as reinforcements. They marched something like 900 miles, that army, to meet up and fight, but they arrived too late. And as we know, Napoleon had his lightning warfare. He was fast, and he sort of the Russians were retreated, and Blasowitz, I think his name was, and they sort of had some sharp rear guard action before. And Vienna fell as well, and then they had that showdown at a little town called Austerlitz, which is really famous battle for Napoleon, one of his greatest victories in tactics and how to read the enemy and how to sort of counter, how to use the battlefield to his advantage and win over the enemy. So it was actually kind of an even. The armies were kind of equal in size. The French were relying upon reinforcements coming to strengthen their right flank. I think it was that got attacked, but he was sort of baited. He baited the Russians to attack there, and so he sort of made a counterattack on the left flank, and it was a pretty bloody battle, man. It was a pretty huge battle. It's all set over 70,000 troops on each side. So it's kind of a long and churning battle, but in the end, he won that. Right, I was rambling on there. So yeah, so that we're gonna have a look at the game, see what comes with it and stuff. So I mean, if you're just going to check out the website, it says grab your musket and backpack and join Napoleon's legions as they march into Swabia to encircle the unfortunate General Mack. Continue on down the valley of the Tanabe as you pursue General Kutsov, this is what I just said, and his Russian hordes as they attempt to evade your mighty army. Capture Vienna, press on to meet up with the destiny on the fields of Austerlitz, 2nd December 1805, where Napoleon won his greatest victory. Yeah, so that's basically what this title is all about. And that's what it says on the page as well. So the Mighty Notes are 8 pages long. The notes mostly take up sort of the construction of the game and things that were implemented in this as the series sort of evolved through time and stuff. Another important thing keep track of in this era now is that Napoleon's army was at its height of its power right now. That's why he was also very successful. It was called La Grande Armée, and he had a new way of fighting and organized his army into not divisions. It's what's it called? Corps system. And that was sort of revolutionary warfare at the time. This is actually what everything is. He was the first to sort of do that, and now we even today have the same sort of army setup as Napoleon invented there, and that is every corps could fight independently, and they had like their own infantry, their own cavalry, their own artillery support, and they had sort of their own baggage train and everything. Sort of, it was like small armies within the huge army, and that increased his mobility. And he could sort of, that was his tactic. He sort of swarmed the area with his corps, and they could quickly converge into one big army and then fight, But they could also surround and attack enemy from different positions. So it was very revolutionary in the sense, and it was very well drilled. And they, of course, the French were known for their good artillery and infantry, and also cavalry from now and then. So this designer notes bring up a lot of work that went down. Sorry, my throat's all. Grab some coffee here, jeez. All right, so it was. It brings up order of battle, challenge of organization, the divisions, and they also talk about how they got the maps. It was based on modern topographical data and drawings of the time, so they sort of combined that. One important thing, which I was actually debating in my last coverage of Marengo, was this 10-minute and this 15-minute turn thing was apparently a big thing in the community and in the game. So they actually, bring that up. Here it says, Campaign General Austerlitz introduced a 10-minute turn to the series, which met with some opposition but general acceptance by many who noted that it helped eliminate much of the blitz actions of opposing players. This has been retained in Campaign Austerlitz, but 15-minute versions of the scenarios are included and will continue to be developed and included in future updates on the HPS website under their download sections. Since the release of Genesis, there has been a modification of the engine that have helped correct some of the blitz ability found in the 15-minute turn versions of the scenario. I went with the 10-minute turn based on the fact that so many of the battles were not that long, and I thought the 15 minutes version of the same of the actions would rob the players of the opportunity for proper control of their army. For instance, a small-sized 6-turn game, the catastrophic rout of one brigade can have devastating effects on the outcome, increasing that scenario to 8 or 9 turns, and that same brigade can only rally back to shore up the line and perhaps change the outcome of the to one of the favorable of their side. So it has to do with the turns being sort of people using that to their advantage, I guess. So in this game, there are lots of different. So if you look at this, if you look at the scenario structure, it says it says 15 here. So all these are 15-minute versions of the scenarios, and then it starts. These are the 10-minute versions of the game. So you know, quite a lot of scenarios, but different types take some time. So it's what you prefer to play, the 15 one or the 10-minute one. So that's an interesting aspect that sort of evolved through this series. What else? So yeah, they talk a bit about the campaigns as well. So more care was given this time around to the solo gamer. So they made a lot of versions to the solos. So there are several solo campaigns including the game, and almost every scenario has a solo counterpart. The playtesters in particular found many of the solo scenarios to be a great challenge. To enjoy the most out of these solo scenarios, I highly recommend that the players leave the isolation rules off. So this is kind of an important thing here. And attempt to fight the AI as if it were a human player, each turn expecting that they could turn your flank rather than go at it in a blitz-style fashion. The experience in playing the AI is more rewarding if you adopt the mindset that you are here to enjoy the battle more than to see if you can destroy every one of the enemy units. Yeah, that's usually how I play. I purposely cut down the French forces in the Eagle Has Landed campaign in order to make it much harder on the human player. Campaign Austerlitz offers over 50 scenarios for solo players. Each of these was playtested at least 4 times, some as many as 12 times. Each player has different abilities, so there's no guarantee that everyone will be satisfied, but I did so much I could offer and put a good challenge. Prefer to play solo. Yeah. And there's lots of head-to-head as well. But, you know, I think this documentation might be slightly old now because, as we know, the Napoleonic Battles have received huge updates and different versions of it. So they have done a lot of work on the AI and tweaked it a lot. So we're going to see how that feels. We're going to play battle in this, and we're going to see how it goes, you know. Also, different kind of maps comes with the game. This is the Austerlitz campaign, the approach to Austerlitz. So this is when they have already defeated Mac and moving, you know, pressing the Russians there. This one here is French movements 25th of October to the 15th of November. So this is when they, you know, capture Vienna and advance. So that's cool. And they have the Bavarian campaign as well. This is the actual one when they, because the General Mack has moved forward here, and the French made sort of a feint attack in the Black Forest here, but they actually swarmed in from the north and sort of surrounded the Battle of Ulm, where Mack was defeated. They put one hell of a fight up, but they were ultimately destroyed and had to surrender to the French. And some forces pulled back, of course. So these maps are included. Yeah, here's they also have another note of standardization. So here they go even more into the deep dive of the 10 to 15 minute turns. So it has to do with the PDT as well, the range of values, fire applied and stuff. So 100-meter hexers, you know, so there's quite a bit. And these are the optional rules. We encourage you to think like a period appropriate commander. It would not be uncommon for a large portion of the army to be stationary while one portion execute a maneuver or launch an attack. Having every single unit move at the same time all the time was not how battles were fought. Additionally, they always kept the reserve and further kept a close eye on their line of supply and communication. It was common for a commander to relinquish the position simply due to the opponent's maneuvering to a location that compromised a large element beyond the immediate tactical battle. So, this is really good. They'll bring in, here's lots of information and stuff to deep dive into the, to try to play the games more historic, It's what they actually encourage players to do. They also have, let's see here, and I think this is sort of standard now, but they have this now in every title. I think this was covered on the website in a series of blogs or news articles covering sort of how the introduction to the Napoleonic Battles. There's so much good information here. It's quite extensive. It's 107 pages, but it really starts off with the basics of the basics, and then moves on and explains the game thoroughly in every aspect. You have basic trading there. You have they're taking up that, and then they have infantry, artillery, and cavalry tactics. They have advanced defense in depth, special topics, rearguard actions, navigating the emotional challenges of PBM. Yeah, could be pretty emotional sometimes. So lots of stuff that comes with the game now. So let's see. Let's get back to the game here. So this latest version. I'm actually running on a new computer now. I'm actually running this game on Windows 11. I've been using Windows 10 for ages, but I had no choice. Windows 11 was delivered with this new computer, but I like it. It has a different feel to it, definitely. But the game runs fine, and everything is great. So let's just open up maybe the big battle of Austerlitz, so we can have a look at the graphics and stuff. There's lots of stuff being implemented here now. Yeah, so obviously we have that 10 and the 15-minute things. There should be a 15-minute version of Austerlitz, I would imagine. So many famous battles here and the skirmishes before the big showdown. Here is the 15-minute version of Austerlitz. It's just it's a big battle. Huge map. So this is what it looked like. So as you can see, Napoleon had a very strong. That would be his left flank. Since he's facing this way, that would be his left flank, and his right flank was really weak. As you can see here on the Russians, they have a very strong in their left flank attacking Napoleon's right flank. So they thought it was easy pickings here, They sort of swung in here, attacked, but I think this was Murat. Could it be Murat? Who was? I think it was Murat's infantry moving in here. Might be wrong actually. Where's the main guy here? So here we have a brigade. Let's see, who's this guy? So he's in charge of the whole. Whoops! He's the whole. Get away! The whole corps. Yeah, I'm still getting used to Windows 11. Okay, so Duvaux, that was it. Not Murat. Murat was that guy. I think he was that cavalry officer. But Duvaux, Marshal Duvaux, his corps was moving up to reinforce this flank, and they arrived. I think they arrived just in time. There's a big battle going on here in Telnitz and Skolnitz. The Russians were attacking here. The French put up a really good defense there, and as that progressed, because the Allies were occupying these sea-low heights, they were dominating the high ground in the area. wonder what these are worth. 100 points. Well, they would be worth more. Anyway, so that's when Napoleon noticed that most of the army was going in here. Lots of this army was actually hidden out of sight of view for the Allies as well. He committed his attack and smashed in here, and he actually conquered the high ground, and the forces were sort of bugged down here fighting the French. And I think they tried to make some sort of counterattack to try to take out the French, but they failed. And then the French swung around and hit these guys in the back that were locked in battle with the French here, and that's how he won. And I know there's some famous accounts about Russian cavalry fleeing across ice, and Napoleon ordering his artillery to fire on the ice and sort of to drown the cavalry and drown the Russians in this water. I've heard that it's different accounts of that. In some accounts they say it wasn't actually that many that died, and it was it was sort of a sideshow to the whole battle. And in some accounts they say like thousands have died, and some they only say like 100. So, take your pick there, what you believe in, I guess. So that was it was Napoleon's initiative to commence his attack and capitulate on the blunder of the Allies to leave these heights to attack, and thinking that the French were really weak, and they wanted to swing around here and hit the French. They wanted to attack like this and hit the French here, while the French actually attacked there. So it was sort of like a circular moment going on in this battle. So very interesting and cool battle. Got some troops here. Yeah, so 3D graphics are at the latest. I've been asked to actually try and play a lot in 3D, to sort of showcase the graphics. So I think I did that in Marengo. I think I might do that in this as well, because I want to give the 3D graphics some credit, even though it's not my forte. I prefer to play, as I've said many times, I prefer to play the battles in 2D tactical overview mode. But there's been a lot of work into these icons, and they look pretty cool. I also like that they put a lot of effort into making these banners for the forces. I think that's pretty cool. That it's there's lots of, they're looking more and more slick, these 3D icons. Yeah, so this would be your next jump after Marengo. So there's obviously a big gap in the in the series. They're not covering. I know I read it on forums and stuff that people really want Wargame Design Studio to release and work on a title for Napoleon's Egyptian campaign, and the fighting the Turks and fighting the different, because that's a huge campaign in itself there. So maybe in the future they will do some work on that. Who knows? But this is a really cool title though, and bringing up the continuation of the war there. So what else to talk about? We've checked the notes. We looked at the yeah. So I'm gonna try and pick something fun to play. We'll see if I should do the 15 or the 10-minute turns. Not sure yet. Which would be the most? Maybe 10 minutes sounds better. I'm not sure. I think it's your pick your poison basically. So I like it. They put them in chronological order. So you sort of start Wertingen. This is 8th of October 1805. This is a location near Ulm. So the outflank of the opposition relied on the flanking forces to be able to drive back and destroy any formations they met along the way. So this is where you start. Then you got Gunsberg. 18 turns sounds good. Halschas, Haslash. Different versions. What's the difference here? This is an alternate take. Okay, so this is a historical take. Okay, yeah, it says H. So this is also an alternate situation, the Memmingen. Many head-to-head versions of the scenarios. We have Elchingen, the Battle of Elchingen. 40 turns, man. Battle of Ulm. Ulm would be fun to check out as well. See what that looks like. Nope. Sure. Look at this. Look at this. Pretty cool. So here you have General Mack. Rating E, leadership C. So yeah, not the best. He's got his army staff. And Ferdinand's there as well. Bunch of pioneers and stuff holding the bridge. Yeah, so here's that army, and here's the French. Man, look at that. Man, this is a tough. This would be a very hard scenario for the Austrians to pull off. You do have quite the force on the other side of the river here. Quite the army though. It's pretty big. You know, they got quality C and stuff. It's pretty good troops. Cavalry there, guns on this hill. This is a pretty formidable force arriving here. Who would this be? See, I don't really know that much detail of the campaigns. Who's this guy? So he's a divisional commander. First division, all right. Isn't there like an overall commander here? Here we go. Long. He was a famous commander. Wow, look at that. He's got a huge force here. Leadership A, rating C. Pretty badass. Here we have Kindmeyer. Yeah, pretty cool. So that was the Battle of Ulm. 15 minutes once. And this is Caldero. The Battle of Caldero was a seesaw affair that saw both sides take and retake the village and the heights. The first day of action started with Verdia putting up the 62nd Ligne across the Adige by boat, then drive on the Austrians' left and be repulsed by the Gensers and the Grenadiers and Norman's division. Alright, that looks pretty cool. Let's check that out. Wow, look at this. Pretty big. Lots of objectives to capture here. Looks like the Austrians are arriving here as well. The French are pushing forward. Cool. Different versions of it. This is the first day. Best played is French. Best played is Allies. Yeah. And here are the 10-minute turns, battles. So all this is probably just Just OOBs that you can open. Order battle. For the players to view the various units in the 1805 campaign, but necessarily several were left out. Swedish, British, and Hover. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what battles is, if there's anyone that with the Swedes in it. So I'm gonna have to look it up, see if I can find something. So many scenarios actually chopping up the Austerlitz fight. Yes, you can see here. There's loads of different, snippets of the main event. The Pratzen Heights counter. This is counterattack at Austerlitz. 2nd of December there. So this would be probably the first covering that. The initial attacks on the Skolnitz and the Telnitz threw the defenders out of their positions. The combined weight of the massed Allied left wing had no problems with Legrand's dispersed division. Later as Deveau came up, elements of these divisions were tossed into the fray. Can you hold the village where the French historically failed? That sounds cool. Solo. It's actually an alternate take on it. Intended to be played French. This version of the scenario has more of Deveau Corps arriving in time to fight the village. Okay. Well, this would probably be cool to play. Not gonna spoil it here. I'm just gonna have a look at if I was French. Maybe the Allies start. Yeah, they do. Okay. Just gonna have a quick look. This could be something cool to play. Yeah, it looks like the. So this is the village here, and these are our reinforcements. Gonna hurry up, get there and hold this. It's gonna be probably huge attack. So it's sort of a snippet of the battle here. Cool. They have melee phase, and here's the French. Yeah, so look, they have some skirmishers deployed there. Got artillery in the back. Pretty lousy visibility. 2 hexes. Jeez. All right. These guys are probably part of them. Yep. Sort of deployed skirmishers here. Big skirmish unit here, man. Holding this. This looks like it's probably vineyards or something. Orchards, yeah. Or troops arriving in. Okay, they're going to hold Telnitz. Here we have hussars, chasseurs. And probably get some scheduled. Okay, not a lot to be arriving here. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So hope you guys are going to be enjoying this. We're going to have a look, probably look more deep dive as we play this game. So this is campaign Austerlitz, man. Wargame Design Studio. Next in line. We're going to have a look at this. Might play this or something else. If you want, just type your requests and stuff. Like and subscribe, and helps with the algorithm. And we'll have a look at this. Thank you for watching, man. And I'll see you on the battlefield.